How are y'all tonight? Aqua, thank you so much for joining me. Let me get this shared into some of my Facebook groups and we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, I am giving out some scheduling hacks. So I had 7, but I just thought about another one. I'm like, oh, I got to give that one. And so I am going to actually give 8 hacks on scheduling. This is going to help you to be more productive during the week. It is going to help you to strategize your week, to plan for a successful week, all of that, maximize your time, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes and see who we have hop on with us. My ladies who have joined me tonight, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, I think I have it shared in all of my groups. So I know y'all are on mute, but again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you had an awesome, awesome weekend. And so I am here, Georgia, Gwinnett County. We are actually on fall break. So I'm so excited about that. It has been a very relaxing weekend. Friday, I did a lot of self-care. That's part of what I put in my schedule. So I did a lot of self-care. That was wonderful. Hold on one second for me here. That was wonderful. And so let me tell y'all what I did. So I always make sure that I schedule out self-care for myself, at least an hour per week. And Fridays is typically the days that I can take my self-care, right? And so sometimes I just like eating good stuff. I'm a foodie. I just changed my diet. Well, about 3 to 4 months ago. I'm pescatarian now. And so typically during the week, I'll try to go vegetarian. I have found myself eating a little bit more seafood during the week now. And so on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll eat like all the seafood I want. Typically about only one time a day though. And I can have it fried if I want, any of that good stuff, right? But so that's what I typically like to do on my Fridays, or I try to take a nap, but for some reason my body cannot wind down to take like a quick nap on Fridays for whatever reason. So it's like laying around scrolling through social media maybe, or scrolling. I love home decor. I told y'all so many times I love home decor. And so, you know, with my candles lit in my house right now, I'm burning fall leaves, and the other one is called Cozy Sweater. It smells so good for the fall. So that's what I like to do for my self-care. But y'all, listen, this Friday was so dope. It was so bomb. I was able to not only take a nap, I slept for hours. So what I did first, I went and got me some shrimp tacos from a Mexican restaurant up the street. My husband typically doesn't work on Friday, but he worked this last Friday. So every time he goes to work, I have to like take him, like pack him a lunch. I wasn't cooking nothing. If y'all been following me, y'all know I say on Fridays I don't cook. So I bought him some wings because that's his favorite thing to eat. So I bought him some wings, got me some shrimp tacos. They were so good. Ate my shrimp tacos, y'all. I took some melatonin gummies because I was going to get a nap. I was determined to get a nap on Friday. So after my last client session on Friday, I ate these shrimp tacos after I picked them up, packed his wings up for lunch, took these melatonin gummies, y'all, and I slept all evening. It was wonderful until the night. Then I woke up. I was still a little drowsy from the gummies. And so I watched like HGTV, a few TV shows, and then I went back to sleep and slept through the night. Let me tell y'all, it was wonderful. And so that's not even one of my hacks tonight, but if you don't schedule your self-care, it's not going to happen. And the reason why I say that is because most times we remember to do everything else. So we have church at a certain time in the middle of the week, on Sundays, on Saturdays, whatever day you go to church, you have extracurricular activities for the kids. You show up, you go to work. If you have a business, you have your business hours. The kids have school hours, but we oftentimes forget about ourselves. So part of me being intentional about making sure I get self-care is I make sure I schedule it on a weekly basis, y'all. I try to get some stuff in daily if I can. Sometimes I don't, but at least every single week. So that was just an extra hack that I threw out there. I have been resting and relaxing. It rained. I slept through the storm. That's good all by itself. Like, I can come on and talk about I slept through the storm. So I believe that it was like Hurricane Delta. I'm really bad. I have not or do not watch the news, but I believe that's what it was. But there was a storm. I heard the rain. I seen people post about the different damages and stuff that it did to their homes. So thank God we didn't have any damage to our home, but I slept and relax, and me and my family, we played games yesterday. Like, I had such a relaxing weekend. They were on fall break, so everybody's kind of been just chill. I almost didn't show up, y'all. I almost didn't show up for the Sunday Night Live chat, because I'm like, look, I am just like in this peaceful, restful mode. But there were some moms that hit me up, was like, oh, I cannot wait until Sunday. I'm going to make sure that I am watching because I need these scheduling hacks. And so I am here just for you and to my ladies who showed up live with me, Aqua, Janelle, Angie. Thank you so much for showing up with me. Listen, I want y'all to come on and be my VIP guest. So if you have any questions or comments, you have to show up. It's absolutely free. I'm here every single Sunday. And so all you have to do is click the link to register. You register one time, and then every single time after that, if you want to join me on Sunday so that you can ask your questions or your comments live, you're more than welcome to do that, because the comments or questions that you all ask on Facebook, I won't be able to get to them live. So if you are going to have questions in regards to the topic that I am discussing on any given Sunday, make sure you show up with me here live. I love having people here with me. Like, this is one of the reasons why I haven't started a podcast, because I need other people to talk to. I love engagement. So make sure you show up with me. If you happen to be watching on Facebook, perfectly fine. I do ask that you either tag some moms so that they can watch along with you, or they can get the information, or share. Please share on your timeline so that other moms around the world can get these hacks right alongside with you. And so tonight we are talking about scheduling hacks. I'm going to give you some hacks. I came up with 8. So 8 hacks that is going to help you maximize your time during the week. I remember when I used to be like all over the place. Like I knew I had, let's just say, 50 things to get done during the week. I knew the kids had to go to extracurricular activities. I was a working mom at the time when I actually implemented this strategy. I have been doing it for so many years. And so I knew I had to show up for work at a certain amount of time. I knew there was things I wanted to do for Tramika, but Tramika got like thrown to the back burner. Like, as long as I was taking care of hubby, the house, and the kids, it was like, when I get to Tramika, I'll get to her if I ever do. But I started to get like tired, fatigued, frustrated. I wasn't doing the things that I enjoyed doing. I started to get stressed out. I was getting overwhelmed. And when I started to be intentional about my self-care time, that's when I found, okay, now, like, I really need to be intentional about making sure I get the rest or replenishing so that I can do all the other things that I need to do, right? And so still, with everything else, menu for the food all over the place. I'm like working all day, take the kids to soccer practice, take this one to basketball practice, got 2 minutes to cook. That's how it felt sometimes. And then I'm like, okay, even in the days I had 30, 45 minutes to cook, I pull out everything ready to cook a meal, and it's not even like I'm trying to cook spaghetti and I only got 1 can of sauce or jar of sauce. It wasn't working. Like, I was just all over the place. I felt like I wanted to do things like progress in my career. Then when I decided that I did want to be an entrepreneur, even in those days, like, how am I going to fit in time to like learn and grow to be able to meet or accomplish the other goals that I have for myself? And so again, just all over the place. I would like have a whole week go by and it's like, man, what have I accomplished? What have I done except for like existing? And I didn't want to just exist. I wanted to like literally live life. I wanted to make sure that I was showing up as my best self in every area. I don't care if it was a PTA meeting, the parent teacher conference, the field trip, the soccer practice, at work, in the conference meeting, you know, with hubby, with my family, with my friends, with myself. I wanted to show up and be the best version of myself. I was not able to do that until I started scheduling. Like, for me, I can't even function when things are just like chaotic and all over the place. So I had to put some strategies in place to be able to plan my week accordingly. And so I always say, if you plan ahead, you plan for success. So even if you feel like, I don't want to be structured, like, routine is not really for me. I'm not really good at planning. I promise these hacks, if you implement them, you won't feel like you're structured and robotic doing the same thing over and over again, because like life as a mom, it happens, right? Like no day is the same, right? And so you won't feel structured, but what you will feel like, or what will happen, is you will be able to maximize your time. You will find that you're being more productive, and you will find that you're getting more things done in your week when you're actually planning things out. You're looking ahead at what you have to come, and you're actually planning things out so that you can be successful. And so let me hop right into these hacks. The very first one that I have is you have to establish a routine. The reason why you not a structure, you don't have to be structured, you don't have to be robotic, but you do have to establish a routine. The reason why routine is so important, because have you ever heard the phrase that people say, I don't know exactly how it's worded, like if you keep doing something over and over again, by like the third week or 21 days, it becomes a habit. And so when we want to start incorporating good habits into our life, or into our lifestyle, we have to make sure that we're showing up every single day, trying and trying again, doing some of the same things, similar things, to make sure we create healthy habits or good habits for our life. And so that's why you want to establish a routine. A routine not only helps you, it's going to help you to be accountable to those in your household, and it's going to help those in your household be accountable to you. And so if I'm telling my kids every single Monday, it's time to sweep and mop all the bathrooms, like there is no reason, they kids, so they still probably gonna forget. But there is no reason why you have an excuse not to sweep and mop all the bathrooms on Monday, because like this is a routine. Hey y'all, we've been doing this since January. That's like oftentimes some of the stuff I'm telling my kids. And so establishing a routine is going to be very, very, very key. Second thing is schedule as much as you can. Schedule as much as possible. And I have a few things that I want you to make sure that you're putting on your schedule, because I always say I'm a firm believer, if it does not get penciled in, if it doesn't get written down, if it doesn't get plugged in on a digital calendar, planner, whatever the case may be, whatever floats your boat, if it doesn't get written down, then it does not exist. Like literally, I can have a conversation with somebody. I have 50 other million things that I'm trying to do. And so if I don't plug it in or write it down, you better guarantee yourself that I'm going to forget. And so you have to make sure that you're trying to schedule as much as possible. You ever go through a whole week and it's like, man, I said I was going to cook X, Y, and Z, but you never really got to it. Or man, I said I was going to call that friend, but you never really got to it. Or I wanted to catch up on the TV shows. Or I was going to go to the store and make sure I got a new pair of shoes because they need them for Sunday, like the kids, right? And so if we don't write them down, sometimes we have so much going on that it will easily slip our mind. And so, no, you're not crazy. It's just you got a lot going on and your mind is racing 50 miles per hour most times, right, as moms. And so you have to be sure that you can schedule as much as possible. Life does happen, right? So we know that life is happening. We're going to talk about that as well. But if you try to schedule as much as possible, I guarantee you that it's going to help you to be productive and successful throughout your week. And so chores, yes, moms have chores too. Like, yes. And the kids have chores too. So make sure, and if you have never done chores for your kids and you feel like they're of age, I dare you to try it. Let me know what you think about it. And so scheduling out chores is going to be very, very key, because the house got to be clean, right? And so if you're not hiring a housekeeper to do it, even with that, if you're hiring somebody, you still got to put on the schedule so that they can come. And so no matter what it looks like, household management, organization, and cleaning, it needs to be scheduled out. The next thing is your menus. So for me, I got like 50 million menus going on over here, right? So dinner menu, of course, like hands down, we all got the dinner menu. The next menu is, I call it slunch, or me and my kids, we named it slunch. So it's like the meal that they have after school. It's smaller than a snack, but it's bigger than a lunch. And so we call it slunch. That's what we named it. And so I have that meal that I got to make sure, because they like looking at me when school is over and I'm like, I don't really know whatever's in there. And so I started scheduling out. Or let me tell you the opposite of that, because y'all know these kids been eating us out of house and home, right? Or if I don't have anything on the menu, they go in there and eat whatever they want. And then when it's time to eat something, there's nothing left. So you got that issue too. And so making sure you create a schedule, all my kids have to do is look at the schedule. They know what to eat on what days, boom, we're done. Now, since this virtual learning thing has happened, lucky me, now I have the honor of making sure that they have breakfast and lunch as well every day. And so if you're going to the school or your school is delivering to your neighborhood, kudos to you, that's fine. We don't have a delivery service here for our kids. My kids do not go into school every day. We don't have like a hybrid model or anything like that. So they are strictly digital learning. So I am strictly responsible for making sure they have breakfast and lunch every day. I don't want my kids at 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning coming to me like, mommy, there is no eggs, there's no cereal, there's no milk, there's no oatmeal. Like, I need, like, who wants to go to the store that early in the morning, right? Like, I'm barely up. I don't even want to talk to people that early in the morning. Not alone, get dressed and get in my car and go to the store. And so I have to make sure that I have a consistent menu in the house so that whatever they need on that particular day, it is available for them to be able to eat. Then, of course, lunch as well. They only have a small period of time for lunch. All my kids are on different lunch schedules. It's crazy. Don't even ask me. It's crazy. And so I have to make sure that when I'm preparing lunch, that it is enough to be able to spread through all three of my kids, and that I actually have the item that I said that they're going to eat on that particular day. So all the food menus. So if you're taking lunch to work or your business is outside of your home, the snacks, like my kids don't really do as much snacking anymore. So snacks, making sure you plan out those as well. That will be another part of your food menu. So that's the second thing you want to make sure you have in your schedule. The third thing, you can't get around this. Either you're going to work every day or you have a business or you may be a stay-at-home mom. And so if there are activities or things that go on during the day, like virtual learning, their kids' school schedule, like these are the concrete areas that do not change, right? And so whenever time you have to show up to work, whatever time you leave, business hours, whatever time you're starting to take your customers or your clients, if you're going to brick and mortar or if you have a home-based business like me, whatever time that looks like, that absolutely needs to be on your schedule, because what you do is you work around it. So those are the concrete things that do not change. That's the third thing that needs to be in your schedule. The next thing is, I'm a big advocate for family time. We don't get it in as much as I would like to. I would love to like do it at least, like we got 7 days in a week, right? At least like 4 days a week. But my oldest is working. My husband and his work hours, it's just crazy. And so I really truly value the family time that we do get in. So I make sure I put it on the schedule, because if you don't, what will happen? Your teenager upstairs in their room, watching TV or on TikTok, Snapchat or whatever. You may have like my son, preteen, playing video games, and somebody over there playing Netflix, and then you on the phone with your girlfriend, or you watching HGTV like me. So everybody's kind of scattered, like you're together, but you're not really engaging with each other and having family time. So make sure you put that family time on the schedule. I know we're not like technically in quarantine. Some states and cities are. Atlanta, they are just free as a bird here. I'm still staying inside. My husband said I'm living in a bubble, but it's okay. I'm safe in my bubble. So I know we're technically not fully on quarantine, but we're not going out as much as we used to. The majority of us, some people are, but the majority of us are not. Make sure you're taking advantage of that downtime and the time that you had in the home together as a family. The next thing is your boo time. I don't care if you're dating, got boo, hubby, if the men are listening, if you got a wife, whatever that looks like, right? Make sure that you're putting in time, quality time, to spend with them. I just incorporated something twice a week. Like my husband, we spend a lot of time on the weekend, but during the week it's really, really complicated because of his work hours and my business hours. So we just made the conscious effort to be intentional about making sure we show up at least 2 different times a week where we have undivided attention with each other. And I called it the bay hours. So make sure that you are scheduling that time, because again, if you do not write it down, it does not exist. The last thing is self-care. That's what I said. We always put it on the back burner. I used to always put self-care on the back burner. I'll get to me. When I get to me, it's okay. I'm young. I'll keep going. I'll pop a vitamin. I'll take some B12. I'll drink a Pepsi, Mountain Dew, coffee. whatever your drug of choice is, and you just keep going and going and going and going. And so I had a really, really bad burnout a couple years ago, and I said, I will not do that to myself again. So it's important that you're listening to your body and you are practicing routine self-care, and you have to make sure that you schedule it. I am going through an awesome time right now where I have a cohort of 18 moms, and we're going through my group coaching program. And so we're learning like all this stuff, time management, priority management, some of these scheduling stuff that I told y'all we've learned about. We're learning about self-care, personal branding, finding our healthy balance, like, everything that's going to help them be able to manage their household and actually pursue their dreams and their desires, right? And so every Thursday we're meeting. I absolutely love this time with this group. And so one of the things that we just talked about, we just discussed in our last session, is self-care. And so I'm going to give you this additional hack. One of the things that I told them is when you schedule your self-care, you need to make sure you have something weekly, something monthly, and something quarterly. So something weekly might be as small as like 1 hour, something monthly might be a couple hours, and then something quarterly might be like an overnight, a full day, or maybe a full weekend, week, whatever that looks like for you. And so everybody is able to do things a little bit differently, the flexibility, no matter if it's financial, you have younger kids or older kids, whatever that looks like for you, flexibility from work, from business, from your family, babysitters, but you need to make sure that you're scheduling something at least weekly, monthly, and quarterly. So that's my extra hack that I'm going to give you. I'm just on number 3, y'all. This is crazy. So the third hack for scheduling that I'm going to give you all tonight is build in buffers, because life is going to happen, right? And so I'm not telling you with the schedule to do minute to minute. From 7:27 to 8:27, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then I'm going to give myself 1 minute to walk up the steps. And then from 8:29 to 8:33, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to give myself 1 minute to walk down the hallway. That's not what I'm telling you to do. Life does happen. And so make sure you build in buffers. So you might want to build in 10 to 15 minutes in between your actual activities that you're doing. You might want to do 30 minutes. Don't do too much time, because you want to stay on task to what you have in front of you at a given moment for that particular day, but life will happen. The good thing about scheduling, what I found out about scheduling and planning for your week, is when life does happen, say for example, Tuesday evening, I kind of get off track because life happens, some of the kids fall down the step, whatever, I don't know, something happens. I guess that wasn't a good example, but something happens, right? And you have to end up taking care of it. The good thing about scheduling is I can look right at my schedule and see, okay, where do I need to pick up and go right into my next task. So I may have to forget about or reschedule that small amount of time that evening where something kind of took my time and attention away, but I'm able to pick right back up where I left off and get right back on track, instead of being scatterbrained, like, oh my God, what do I do next? How do I kind of regroup from this? You're able to jump right back into it. And that's the good thing that I love about scheduling. So life is going to happen. It's not going to be perfect. I believe I was in a session with one of my one-on-one clients this week, and I was saying, like, you're not gonna get to 100% of your schedule every single week. Like, that would be great, and if you do, amazing, but you want to at least get to about 85%. And so for those of you who are just starting off, doing 60 to 70% and then 70 to 75% and going up and further and further and further from there is going to be ideal for you, but at least 85%. You want to be getting to at least 85% of your schedule at least every week. That's how you're maximizing your time and getting the most out of your week. The next thing is time blocks. This is number 4, time blocks. And so instead of saying, again, that minute to minute, you do it in time blocks. So I'm going to do this in a half an hour time block. I'm going to do this in an hour time block. I'm going to do this in 2-hour time blocks. Again, telling the client this week in a one-on-one session, I absolutely don't like doing anything that I don't like to do, like cleaning. Like, I know I want my house clean, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't really want to clean. Like, that's not one of my favorite things to do. And so cleaning is not anything I would do for like 2 hours. I just don't. So for me, it works to be able to break up my stuff Sunday through Thursday. So I don't do chores on Fridays. I don't do chores on Saturdays. So I give myself 2 days off, and I break up everything else from Sunday to Thursday, and I do it in small time blocks. And so that way I'm like bobbing and weaving inside the chores, if that makes sense, so that I'm not like spending a long time doing this one tedious thing that I do not like to do. Another thing that time blocks is going to help you with as well is if you kind of get on something, but you can't get off. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do this for an hour, but you end up spending 5 hours on it. Like, we don't need that either, because you're not being productive with everything you have on your schedule for that day or that week, because you're spending so much time trying to perfect one thing. And so what I need to do is do a time block, do a hard stop to be like, okay, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that's what I schedule in this particular area. I'm going to do a hard stop. If I did not finish, I would reschedule a time to come back to it. That's how time blocks can help you as well. Number 5, school and homework time. So the school time does not change. So if you have school-age children, you want to put in scheduled homework time. And so what I mean by that is, like, they did this long time, and either they're going into the building hybrid or going in, and then they or either they're at home virtual learning, right? And so you've helped them all throughout the day. Your brain tired, their brain tired, everybody need a brain break, right? And so instead of saying, okay, we're going to just continue until we like get sleepy and pass out, have a scheduled homework time. So this is the time you're going to study. This is the time we're going to work on missing assignments. This is the time we're going to work on projects, and have that time throughout the week. It can be daily. It can be a couple days of the week. It can be a few hours on the weekend, whatever is best for your family. But having a designated time is going to help you have hard stops, so you're not like working on it until you pass out at night. Your kid is not like going crazy because they were working on it all night and then have to wake up and do virtual learning all over again. And so it just helps everyone with their stress management if you have a homework or a study hour. So for my older kids, study hour where they're kind of doing it alone. For the younger school age kids, a homework hour where maybe they're doing homework, and that could be a time where you're helping them as well for the younger kids. Number 6, Sunday prep. And so y'all will see me post every single Sunday, Sunday prep, hashtag Sunday prep, hashtag Sunday prep. Basically, that is taking a glance at my schedule for the week, and I'm actually putting everything in perspective, giving everything a place. And so that includes my business calendar. So that will be work or business. It includes my food meetings, everything we're talking about here. I literally just prep it out on Sundays. And so, like, I have a client that's in the group coaching session. She says Saturdays works best for her. And so if Saturday works best for you, whatever day is light for you, to be able to take 15 minutes to maybe 45 minutes to be able to sit down, look at your schedule for the week, and kind of plan everything out. So that's basically what Sunday prep is. So it includes work calendar. It's going to include your self-care. It's going to include your food calendar as well. So those 4 main compartments. Number 7, number 8, last 2, y'all. Number 7, simply making sure you write it out or type it out. If you like to do digital planners, like I have a lot of moms who are in my group coaching program right now, they love to do the digital planners. I do both. I do my phone as well as I have an actual planner, and then I have like the whiteboards on the wall for the family to see. I don't care what you do, how you do it. It needs to be written out, typed out, and it needs to be visible. Visible not only for you, but the household calendar and the food calendar needs to be visible for your family so that they can, again, be held accountable, help you be accountable. I cannot tell you how many times moms had told me, like, my son or my daughter is like, well, no, mom, you can't cook that because you put such and such on the menu. Or, oh, what are we having on the menu today? My son, he's so happy when he sees stuff he loves, and include them in your menu planning. Don't just come up with like all this random stuff that you found on Pinterest. Ask them the type of stuff that they want to eat and like what they would like to see you put on the menu. I include my husband in the menu as well. He always said he doesn't care, but I always still ask him just in case one day he comes up with an idea that he wants me to put on the menu. So include your family with the menu, but make sure that you're making this menu in the household calendar visible so that everybody can see. Last but not least, number 8, I added this one because I think it's so important as you are scheduling out your week to be able to be productive, to be able to maximize the time. Like, when I was like all over the place, right? I was like looking at people like Oprah Winfrey, just all types of different people, Tyler Perry, like all these people that I admire. I love what they're doing. I'm like, how are they there and I'm here? Like, they get the same amount. Now, don't get me wrong, right? They got money now, so they got chefs, they got maids, assistants, all of that, right? but they started in a place and they use the same 24 hours. I'm looking at moms who are like bossing the game right now when it comes to motherhood. And I'm like, yo, they are doing it. They are able to be a mother, be a spouse, show up for work, show up in business, show up for themselves, show up for their friends, their family, like do everything, accomplish goals, write books. Like, how are they doing that? And they have the same 24 hours that I have in my day. And that was the reason why I just was like, okay, you got to find a strategy. You got to do something that's going to work for you and help you to be able to maximize your time and be more productive. And so I did that. And these are some of the hacks that I'm sharing with you. And one of the things that I realized I was looking at totally wrong, and this is number 8. This is the last hack. I was looking at a 24-hour period. I kept saying, I'm going to try to do 50 things, 20 things, 40 things, 100 things, 25 things in a 24-hour period, plus get sleep, plus like go to work, plus run a business, plus talk to clients, plus talk to customers. And I had it all wrong, y'all. We have to look at it from a week's perspective. And so if you tell somebody, I'm gonna give you 50 things that you have to get done in 24 hours, that's a little overwhelming, right? But if you tell somebody, I'm gonna give you those same 50 things in 168 hours, because that's how many hours are in a week, it looks totally different. Like, I feel like I can accomplish the 50 things if you tell me 168 hours versus 24. And so, yes, you may have like this never ending to-do list. You may have this long task of items that you have to do, curricular activities, showing up for your client, showing up for your customer, showing up for your boss, showing up, for work, for family, for friends, for your children, for your spouse, for yourself, all that stuff, right? That's not including the household manager, all the stuff that you have to do around the house. You may volunteer, you may sit on boards, all of this stuff, right? If you look at it from a week's perspective versus trying to do all those responsibilities in one day, then you would feel a little bit better or a little bit of relief, like, okay, I can really get this done. And so making sure you're looking at it from a week's perspective, 168 hours versus 24 hours. So that is my 8 hacks that I have today. Let me run them down real quick. Number 1 is establish a routine. Number 2 is schedule as much as possible. Number 3, build in buffers because life is going to happen. Number 4, time blocks. Number 5, that's school or homework time. Number 6, Sunday prep. Number 7, write it or type it out. Number 8, 168 versus 24 hours. So those are my hacks for today. Those of you who are joining me, thank you so much. If y'all can just drop in the chat what's one of your takeaways from today. So which one of the hacks do you feel like, man, that's really good? Maybe I reminded you it was something you used to do and you're not doing it anymore. Or it's like, man, I'm going to really, really try that. That was really good. If you can drop it in the chat. If you're watching on Facebook, again, make sure you are tagging other moms who need this information. Make sure you are sharing. I thank you in advance. And then I want you to write in the comment section so that I can go back and look at it on Facebook, whether you're in the group or you're on my personal page. Please write down for me what was the greatest takeaway. It may not even be one of the hacks. Maybe it was just a part of something I talked about. What is your greatest takeaway from tonight's scheduling hacks? I want to know. Creating buffers was a good tip. Thank you so much, Janelle. While I'm waiting for you all to drop those in the chat and drop those on Facebook, I have free gifts for you tonight. Yes. So I'm not gonna say I didn't want to show up because I love y'all. I was thinking about not showing up because I was ready to get into bed and watch like a Hallmark movie or HGTV. But not only did I show up to give y'all the hacks, I have gifts for you as well. So if you go to my website, I put it in the caption of this live video. I'm going to put it in the chat box as well. TramikaCraddock.com/shop. I have a bunch of templates for y'all. So if you need more help on how to schedule out your Sunday prep, if I have chore planner templates, it shows you can write down things you need to do weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly, every 3, that's quarterly, every 6 months, annually, whatever that looks like for you. I have chore charts for your kids. If you never thought about putting your kids on chores, or you want to start or you want to change their chores, I have chore charts. They're really cute, color coordinated, some for the boys, some for the girls. I even have a chore chart for the moms. So all you need, please go check it out on my website. Again, it's in the caption. TramikaCrowdOut.com/shop. Go to instant downloads, and they're absolutely free. And so all the time on Once in a Blue Moon, I will say I do put those templates on there. Every time I create a new hack or a strategy in my life, I put those templates on there. And so you're always welcome to frequently look to see if I have any new templates that's going to help you when it comes to organizing your life in your home. So that's all I have. Thank y'all so much for watching me or joining me. I will be here next Sunday at 9 p.m. I want more of you mamas to come on here and share with me. Before I go, though, I do want to ask for my guests that are on here, do y'all have any questions? My son chimed in on the part about the set a study hour and having a hard stop so they won't be burnt out. He said, exactly, mama. That's funny, Angie. And so I have a template for that as well. So if you need a study chart for your kids, go to the website. I have a template for that as well. Absolutely free. So any questions from those of you who have joined me via Zoom? Do y'all have any questions before we close out today? My kids do not have school tomorrow. I'm making them clean up tonight so they can sleep in. I do still have to wake up early and do work. And so I will be up early. So I am going to go to bed after this, actually. But I hope that y'all have had a great weekend. If you are here in my same county and you are on fall break, enjoy your last day of fall break. Soon as Tuesday hit, I'm going to be looking forward to the next break, which is for Thanksgiving. Because listen, the virtual learning, in my experience, listen, that's a whole nother Sunday Night Live chat. So thank y'all so much. Oh, thank you, Angie. She said this was one of the highlights of her weekend. Thank you. I'm glad for you. I am excited. I can't wait to hear. You are so welcome, Janelle. I cannot wait to hear how these scheduling hacks are being implemented in your life and how they help. And I always say, I tell my clients all the time, if I give you something and you just feel like you need to tweak it a little bit so that it works for your family, because everybody's family dynamic is different, make sure you do that. Let me know what you did to tweak it. And so maybe I can help some of my other clients with it as well. So y'all, thank you so much. Y'all have a good rest of the night and have a productive week.